Hey, welcome back to the Wolfe Den. Today we are going to be diving into the pixelated world of Dwarves, Glory, Death, and Loot. Get ready to join a band of brave dwarves as they navigate treacherous dungeons, battle fierce monsters, and uncover legendary treasures. Whether you're a seasoned gamer or new to the realm, this action-packed RPG promises epic quests and tons of loot. So grab your pickaxe and let's dig into this chaos and camaraderie that awaits. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more epic gaming content. Today we're going to be taking about 30 minutes to kind of showcase all that this game has to offer. And at the end of that showcase, it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to add this game to your purchase list or to your wish list. I will leave a link in the description below at the end of the video if you want to check it out for yourself. It is on discount at the time of this video's release. I believe for 25% off, if I'm not mistaken. A little bit more about this game. It was released a little over a year since the date of this video being released. It was released on August 17th of 2023. The developer is Hama. I think I said that correctly. Forgive me if I said it a little bit off. But it was also published by Gamer Sky Games. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a minute and jump into this game. One of the things I want to kind of showcase to start off is on the loading screen. Some games do this, and I love it. You'll hear that sound just now. There's actually an Easter egg in their loading screens. And if you see this guy running across the screen, you can actually hit him, and you'll get a little loot cache of just gems, which you'll use to upgrade your talent tree or your skill tree later on. Alright, so you can get some gems by opening that up. Super cool idea. Something I've seen in a couple other games where they have some Easter eggs. Oh, here comes another one. You can hear the sound. Alright, there he is. So we can actually hit him a couple times and he'll drop this. Right now it's a jack-o'-lantern, which is super cool. So they have seasonal events apparently. I did not know that. They've actually updated it since I started recording this video, or since the last time I played, which is just a couple hours ago, honestly. So they just released a patch. Super cool that they're into the seasonal vibe. So I guess you could expect to have not only a Halloween event, but also maybe a Christmas event and so forth and so on. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this game and we'll just kind of show what all it has to offer. All right, so I'm going to pick one of their names. Let's do Still Shapers. We can actually change the name. So let's change the name to Wolfe Den. Cool. We are playing Loads of Wolf Gaming, so we might as well make it themed. Alright, so we're playing the Wolfe Den. We'll take a second just kind of look at their rune tree. You can purchase these 4 runes, and then you'll notice that if you unlock certain trees, you can unlock special classes for your dwarves. So we have this Warlock. They do a fear attack, which is kind of pretty cool. There's a Cannoneer. What else we got? We've got a Beastmaster, so that's pretty cool. A Paladin, which I'm always a big fan. Whenever I play like fantasy games, Paladins have always been really cool to me, where they can be a tank, also a healer, so that's super cool. We've got a War Priest. Now that's pretty cool. You don't really see War Priests on the list of different characters for games, so that's super cool. And then a Reaper. So some super cool things that you can unlock as you progress through the game. Unfortunately, it's not available to you right off the bat, which is, I guess, it's good because it has you work towards something. All right, there's something to progress towards. It's not just a one and done game. You can play it multiple times to kind of get these additional unlocks. All right, so let's go back. We're not going to play with any unlocks or anything with that. We're just going to start it out brand new, as if I never played this before. I did spend a little bit of time on it to kind of get an idea of how the mechanics work, to best showcase all that it has to offer. So we'll just go into that. There are 3 modes you can start off with. You got loot, which is their easy mode, and what happens is what happens in a loot mode or the easy mode is that as you're progressing through the levels, if you happen to lose all of your dwarves and you lose that battle, instead of the game ending, you have to start all the way over from scratch. It just takes 10 of those levels or those victories away. It's where you can retry or rebuild up to that spot where you failed. Alright, so this one is, you can't necessarily lose or start over. Alright, when you go to normal, on the other hand, if all your dwarves fall, like get knocked out or fall, then the game stops and you have to start all over from scratch. Alright, so we're going to be playing on that normal mode. You do earn 2 times more gems, which is used towards that rune page I just showed you a second ago. And then there is the death mode. Alright, now on the normal mode, if, let's say, not all of your dwarves get knocked out, and just maybe 1 or 2, and you still win the round, those dwarves come back to you at the end of the round. However, on the death or the hard mode, if any of your dwarves die, alright, during any of the runs, even if you win, those dwarves are gone. Alright, until... well, they're gone forever. You'll have to replace them with a new dwarf and kind of build that new dwarf up. Alright, so we're going to just do the normal for this one. I'll go ahead and jump into this. We're not going to do the tutorial. I went through that earlier just to kind of make sure I knew everything that I want to showcase and kind of explain how the game works. So we're going to skip that and we'll just jump right into it. Alright, so first thing we're looking at is there's a store that rotates. So you'll notice up here in the top right, it'll give you some things that are available currently or especially obtainable currently in the store or the market, and it rotates ever so often. So we're in the forest right now, so if we're in the forest we can obtain a battle axe currently, and as we are upgrading the store with these bounties or these tokens or these gold, we can increase what we're available to have in the stores during these times. Alright, so we will notice that the Bow of Wrath, if we're in the forest mode, this would be available for this rotation. Alright, so we may get to that in this video, I'm not really sure, within 30 minutes, but hopefully we can upgrade a couple times and kind of see what that looks like. One of the things I want to kind of showcase is that as you're progressing and you're building your team, there are certain, I guess, teams that you can build that give you certain bonuses. So if you have, for instance, the one I like to start off with is, it's called Wizardry, and if you have 5 staff users in your party or in your clan, your dwarf clan, those staff wielders have a 30% chance to recast their ultimate, which is super cool because it increases all of your healing capabilities and it also increases your DPS exponentially. Alright, so it's super cool. So we will probably grab this to start off with. This way we have at least 1 staff to start off. But let's go ahead and check out what doors we have. So this is our store, our market, which is that chest. Right next to it, we have a horn, which would be where we recruit our new dwarves. Alright, now for the most part, you'll notice that when you start out, they'll have some red all the way through them, or through some of the stats. And that's common whenever you're starting out. Mostly, I'm just looking for ones that have white in those areas that I'm looking for to build. So I have a white intelligence, so I'm going to probably pick this guy so I can have a mage in the party, and then I'll also pick maybe this one because it has a white wisdom, so I can start building a priest. So I am going to be able to get a staff first. I'll get this guy first, start building up a priest. This guy has nothing that's above or at normal. Alright, so all these are negative, so I probably will not grab this guy. Let me check, see how much that staff is. It's 120. I'll go ahead and buy it. And let's look at how much I got left. I got 130, so I don't have enough to buy this guy. I will lock him because of the intelligence. No, never mind. I'm not going to lock it because I'm pretty sure I'll get some roll off of that. So I'm not going to lock him. We'll just come back here. We'll start building our priest. Drop this down here. And we'll just go into our first fight. Alright, so over here on the right, we'll notice that this button here tells us what battles are available. Each one has a different bounty that's available, which is your gold or your currency. The experience you gain is based on the number of monsters you're fighting. Alright, so if there's 2 monsters, you get 2 experience. So the more monsters, the more experience, the faster your dwarves will grow as far as levels, and the faster they'll gain the stat points that are associated with their classes. Alright, now let me go back and explain that really quick before I jump into this first battle. So you'll notice that because this is a priest now, they changed their class based on what weapons they're wearing. So because this is a priest, it'll gain wisdom stats every time it levels up. So it'll get 1 wisdom stat every time it levels up. If it's a knight, it gets stamina. If it's a thief, it gets dexterity. If it's a mage, it gets intelligence. And there's a class that holds a banner, which is a support class. It also gets wisdom as well. Okay, so just kind of give you that idea. So I'm going to go with the most money. It's really hard to lose when you're first starting out. So really, you just go for the most money that you can possibly get. I will explain the battling system that I found out. So you'll notice that we're at 0 right now, and if we're going left and right, I'll show you on the next one. All right, so I got 100 gold, got some mithril, which you can use to upgrade some of your gear. Okay, we got our mage staff. Cool. Going to go ahead and buy that right off the bat. Do you have a shield we could get to help start building our knight or our tank? Let's see what kind of dwarves we get, so we have another intelligent one. Not enough gold to pick it up though, but I will lock this one just so I know for sure I'll get a mage on the next one. I guess I'll go and get the shield because I have the money for it. And let's go ahead and start building our knight. And we'll just make this one our knight. This one has 5 intelligence, so I'll just go ahead and make this one the mage. This way we can start building our DPS up. Alright, so still going with the most money. This one, they both give me 100 gold and 2 experience, so it doesn't really matter which one. I'll probably take this one because the archer's not going to have as much knockback as the spearman, so we'll take this guy. I'll go ahead and pause it here. Alright, there we go. You'll notice that there's a number in the center. Alright, and it's kind of like 0 to 100 that goes in both directions. Alright, so if we passed 100 going this direction to our left, alright, if we go past that 100 marker, then there's a red skull, or there's a skull in place of the 100 number, and once you get past that part, the enemies will start doing a ton of damage, and it's almost like an instant loss. Alright, same thing applies to our enemies. If we go in the right direction, alright, all the way this way to the right, past the 100 marker, or past that skull, it's an instant win, almost. Alright, we can start doing a ton of damage to these enemies. So that's one way that we can kind of think about how we want to build our team. So we can build up a bunch of knockback and just try to push them past that point really, really fast and build up a lot of health and block, or maybe even some dodge, to where it doesn't matter about our damage. We just try to get them past that 100 marker, and then they'll die based on that instant win mechanic. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish out this level real quick. Alright, look like we got some gems from that. I didn't get a chance to click on it, but that was cool. Did not see that before. There are some new things that I'm noticing on this. I could pick this up. I don't think I have enough for a recruit, unfortunately. So I probably will pick up the shoulder pads, or shoulder pauldrons, just to give him more weight. Now, weight helps with the knockback, to where you don't get knocked back as far. This way that knight can stay in the front and leave our mages and our healers from getting hit at by any melee class, to where they don't get knocked back and are not able to cast their spells. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick up this knight shoulder. We'll throw it on our tank. We also have this one. It also gives some more weight, so I'll go ahead and pick this up. And then I might have to skip a couple rounds on buying stuff. This way I can actually get the rest of my dwarf recruits. We do have a cloth shoulder, which gives intelligence, so I'm going to throw that on our wizard. Alright, and let's go ahead and pick out our next fight. I will re-roll because I'm trying to get the most money possible. I didn't get anything better. I can try one more time. Alright, we got 100, so that's better than what I was going to get. And I spent, what, 30 on it? So really, it kind of evens out. I would have got the same amount. I would have got 60 from it. So I'm not really gaining what I would have gained if I would have just done the other one. Alright, going to here. We do have a mage hat, but I'm not going to buy it yet. I really wanted to get more dwarves on the table, so I can start getting those passive, or those team bonuses. Alright, I did pick up a new helmet. It doesn't really do me any good on a mage, but the weight, just because I'll throw it on him, it's not going to give me any bonuses towards damage because he uses intelligence to boost his spell power. But it's better than not having any stats on it whatsoever. Alright, the base stuff doesn't have any stats. Alright, our spears are the only thing that gives us any type of damage, but no stats on that though. Alright, now going into this mechanic, alright, we have a forge. Alright, in the forge we have options. Alright, if we put 3 items up here, we can sacrifice those 3 options for a 50% chance of a better grade item. Now, if I was to just break these items down, all right, this is the button we can use to just break down items. We have a 50% chance each time to wield any type of mithril, and that's just on the white material. So each time I do this, I only have 50% chance of getting this upgrade material. So what I found to be more beneficial is just combining these three and hoping to get maybe a green item out of it, and potentially being able to use that better grade item or that good quality item. All right, so let's see if we can get it. It's 50% chance, so it's not bad. I did get the wizard hat that I was looking at earlier, so I don't have to hold that one anymore. So I can unlock that one and go back to here. I'll put this on my mage, and we'll move this over to our cleric. All right, so we're kind of getting a little bit of some gear going. We'll go into our next fight, see what we can get. I'm going to keep an eye out for those pumpkins, because I think I can click on them, and it'll give me gems. I didn't see that it gave me any gems last time. All right, let's see if I'm close to another recruit. I could get this guy, but I don't see a point. All the things are red except for strength and weight. So I could build a warrior out of it, but the stamina is where they get their health from, and I don't really want to build a low health warrior. So I'm probably going to skip out on this round, and let's just go straight into the next fight. I'm trying to get as much content to show you as possible. This way you can make an educated decision on whether or not you want the game. So going into the next fight, let's try to get this one done. This will give us 320 gold, so that'll be a good bump up from what we've been getting. Alright, so we won that one, got 320. I do have enough now that I can buy our next Dwarf. I think I'm going to go with this guy. His wisdom's lower, so that means that he's not going to gain as much mana back every round, or as he's fighting. So he's not going to cast his ultimate as much, but we can mitigate that with some items, hopefully. That'll bump that up enough to where he'll still be able to get his ultimate off on a regular basis. Alright, so I'm going to take this guy. I had talked about doing this guy, but this one popped up. He's only got one less stamina, and everything else is good. His weight's super good. So I'll lock him. I don't have enough gold for him, so I'm going to lock him for right now. I guess I will take this guy, just so I have another recruit. And this one looks good too, so I'm going to lock him down as well. This one will be the only one that's rotating this next one. Alright, let me look at my team real quick. We've got these two. We'll just put them towards the front. Alright, we'll rotate them towards the front because they don't have a mage staff. This way they can get to the fight as fast as possible. So it looks like I got 5 experience over here for 260 gold. They look about the same. There's an archer here, and we've got some spearmen over here. I'm going to go with the archers so we're not having so much knockback. And let's just see what we can get. Alright, got it done. Didn't see any pumpkins, so I didn't have to click on anything. Alright, daggers. We're not going to do anything dex related on this one, but you can build assassins, and they have some pretty cool mechanics on that as well. The main one for the starting off one is, I believe, poison. This one says dancing daggers. I believe if we go to our stats, let's just go down to our details. If I go to dexterity, okay, so yeah, so increase attack speed and poison damage for all classes. So the more dexterity you pour into it, the more increased speed, attack speed, and the more poison damage we'll get. And then for thieves specifically, it increases your dodge chance and jump back distance. So that's how they mitigate all the damage, is just having a high dexterity. So I'll go and show you the rest of them while we're in here. So strength increases melee attack damage and knockback scale, so we can knock back further with these. It also increases physical resistance. Intelligence is what increases our magic damage, and additionally increases our elemental resistance. Wisdom increases our mana regeneration, which allows us to cast our ultimate. And then it also increases our healing power by 1. Alright? And it also reduces our cast time, so that's super cool. So more wisdom, the faster we're going to be getting off those ultimates and increasing our DPS. Stamina increases your health. Okay, so those are our main stats that we're going to be mixing and matching to kind of make the best dwarves possible for their classes. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep going, see what we can get. I don't have enough for another combination. We could upgrade our runes, but I'm just going to do a flat game. I'm not going to do any rune powers on this one. This way you can just kind of see what it looks like as you start out brand new. All right, we do have options to change what kind of, I guess, assault they have. So we could hold the line to where the dwarves don't move into enemy territory, and they kind of gain a buff to where they get more range and more physical resistance. So that would be at that 0 line. They would stay at that 0 line. We have this one to where each dwarf is capped off by their speed is capped off by the dwarf that's in front of them. So let's say the front man is running at a speed of 14. All right, nobody behind that man can go more than 14 speed. Okay, and I usually go with this one this way. They're all going about that same speed. But if I have one in the front that has a ridiculous amount of speed, and the next person in line, even if they wanted to, they couldn't get up to that same speed. Like, let's say the top front man had 40 speed, the second man, or the second dwarf, only had 12. All right, that's where this one would come in handy, because it would make that front dwarf kind of stick back with those slower dwarves. All right, and then the free-for-all is just everybody runs as fast as they can. All right, so we're only going to leave it as the one that we picked. We got 320. I'm going to go with the highest just so we can get some more money going. All right, we're getting pushed back pretty well, but if we're looking up here, I'm doing a lot of damage, so I'm not worried about it. All right, let's see what we can get. All right, buying this, we're getting another staff. Let's see if we can get another recruit. We do have enough for this guy, so I am going to take this guy. No, I'm going to take this guy. I'll still leave these two unlocked for right now. The reason why I took that one over the two that I had locked is because of his speed. He had a high speed that would help him keep up with the person in front of him. All right, you notice it only says 8 right now, and that's because the people in front of that one, their max speed is 8. All right, if I was to replace this one with this one, his speed would be 13 because it matches the one in front of him. Okay. It looks like our slowest guy is this one right here, so I might just leave him in the back, just the way everybody else can kind of keep up with this front guy. All right, so that'll be good. Let's see. I got 190. Let's see if I can pick up another staff. We'll just re-roll once just to see. Okay, so I did. Cool. So we're on our way, and there's our last staff. Let me lock that down. All right, so we'll have all of our staves to where we can start doing a ton of damage. All right, I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. So let me just go ahead and go into our next one. We could even take out this group now, even though they have a little bit more damage on their orcs. All right, this is just a straight strength warrior. It's got the two-handed sword, but we should be able to knock these out pretty fast. All right, we're knocking them out pretty good. All right, there's a pumpkin. I didn't get a chance to click on it, I don't think. I didn't see anything about gems up here, but that's okay. All right, we did pick up a war blade. We're not going to use it for this run, I don't think. All right, so we've got 2 of these. I'm just going to pick up one of them. We don't really need another one. That'll give us all 5 of our staff users for that team composition. I'll just throw that on this guy. That gives us 3 mages and 2 priests. All right, if I go to our formations, you'll notice that we have this activated now. All right, wizardry. If we have 5 staff users in our clan, all staff users have a 30% chance to reactivate their ultimate. That means that all of my DPS is going to be able to throw out their ultimate more times and increase their DPS. My healers are going to be able to heal more often. All right, these are the other ones that we have. So we have Bannerlord. So if we have 3 supporters in our group, which are the ones that holds the banners, the ultimate of the supporters will actually heal our clan members for 10% of their max HP of the supporter. All right, so that's another team composition we could do. There is the Pack of Thieves. It increases the poison damage, and then we have the Berserker. So if you have 3 two-handed melee weapon users, then all of my two-handed melee weapon users get an 8% chance to parry, and all of my clan members gain the Berserker passive. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into it. We'll just keep going. Looks like 260s looks like a pretty good one. It's got our first healer that we're going against, so maybe we'll be able to find one of the elite monsters and take their weapon. All right, and I'll show you what that looks like when we run into one. All right, so let's go and take out this group. Should be able to take it out pretty easy. Okay. Looks good. We do have another staff. We don't need it, so I'm just going to leave it there. We can pick up our next recruit. We'll take this guy just because we said we were going to take him earlier. We don't really have to be picky anymore. We have what we need for our setup. We do need some more warriors, so I think I'm going to switch this guy out to a warrior, actually, and bring him up to the front. Hopefully he didn't drag down our speed. No, it's still 13, so that's good. Our slowest guy is this priest still, but it looks like 13 looks like a good number. We can go to our anvil or forge, and we can start trying to get a good quality item or a green item. We did, but it's just a spear. So what I can do is I could actually break this down and be guaranteed a mithril. All right, which I think I may do. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to break that down and get that guaranteed mithril. And then I'm going to go ahead and combine these three and see if I can get something of good quality as well. I did not. I did get a steel helmet, so I can put that on that warrior that we're building. Another thing I want to point out is that as you're using the forge, as it rotates through these different areas, so we're in the forest right now, not really sure where we'll end up next, but each one has certain modifiers you can gain by upgrading. Right now we can only get wisdom, life regen, and speed. So if I wanted to upgrade this, I can click on that, put it up here and upgrade it, and you'll notice that I can get wisdom. 5 is the max for that stat. We could also get life regen and speed. Okay, and it changes based on what area we're in. So we could potentially have a chance to get a strength modifier, a stamina modifier, an intelligence modifier, etc., etc. Okay. I will put the wisdom on here. That'll give him some more mana regeneration, so where he can use his ultimate more. So I'll take that, put that on there, and let's go ahead and equip that on our warrior. And let's go ahead and get into a next fight. All right, let's see if I can find a elite mage. All right, I went to the harder one, so let's see if we can knock this out. It looks like we're going to be able to do it, so no problem. All right, so got that. We've got a good amount of mithril. There's my gems. All right, so I must have picked up another pumpkin, and we got 490 gold. All right, every time we go through 10 levels, we'll get an artifact chance, or we'll get to pick an artifact. Each one has certain stats that they can potentially give you. The tungsten ore, we'll notice that it gives us a -20 to speed, which we can use that to our advantage if we're thinking about making sure that they're all staying together. It also increases our weight, so there's less chance of that whoever it's on being able or getting knocked back, and you gain 1 strength every level. So we can actually use that to our advantage. What else we got? So we got gold ore. It increases our elemental resistance by 15 and our weight by 15. Grants an additional 50 gold multiplied by the level of the wearer. Every level the wearer gains in battle. All right, so sell for a high price. So we could potentially just take this and sell it for 3,000 and give us a good little bump. But we'll see. All right, when an ally is below 50% health, takes damage, gains 20% movement speed, and increased healing for 5 seconds. And it gains wisdom on level up. So I think I'm going to go with the tungsten ore because I want to make sure that all my guys are staying together. And I'll go ahead and pick up this new weapon for my tank. And let's just go ahead and start building him up. We'll put this on him. So currently he's at 410 weight and 16 speed. It looks like only these two are staying together. So what I'm going to do, and you'll notice that when I put this on him, his speed is going to drop down to 12. And it's going to allow everybody to stay up with him except for this last guy that already had a lower speed. All right, so I don't have to worry about these guys being like way far behind our tank. All right, we want them all to stay relatively close together. All right, we can check, see what kind of people we got going on. We could pick up another one trying to fill out our roster. This one would be pretty good for just a tank. This one for a mage or a healer. We already got a good amount of those though. So I think I'm going to pass on these and let's just go into our next fight. All right, I'm gonna re-roll. I've got some gold saved up, so I can kind of roll this a couple of times and see if I can find an elite monster to kind of show you what that looks like. We're looking for the elite mage, so we can get that healing staff. Their healing staff is actually it's called Rain. These don't have it. These have just the regular cross staff. But the elite healers have this Rain healing spell, which is an AoE spell. All right, so we want to get that because if you think about it, we have a 30% chance of casting it over each time, and that means we can pump out a bunch of AoE heal over times or hots. Okay, so let's see if we can find one real quick so I can show you what that looks like, and it'll just be a glow around those mobs or those orcs if they're an elite monster. All right, so we're looking for it. It may not be at the correct level yet, and they might not pop up at just 10 victories, but we'll see. I'm willing to spend the rest of this just kind of check it out. All right, every so often as you're rotating through your possible bounties, you can run into treasure, which is just some ores that you can pick up, which will help you later on if you're upgrading your gear. All right, still looking for it. I don't see it. I don't think that we're going to be able to find one. And then here's another mechanic that you'll notice. If you are constantly rotating through the possible enemies, eventually it'll ambush you and it'll throw one of the cards into an ambush or multiple cards into an ambush. And what will happen is these mobs now will do 25% increased damage in combat. All right, and that's just a mechanic to make sure you're not just rolling through these constantly to find exactly what you want. All right, there is a way around it that I found. Like I could, if I don't want this group or this group or this group, I could go into any of them and just retreat. And then when I go back to my options, oh, it's still there. So that was a mechanic before. Maybe they patched it now, and now this is just permanent until you go through a fight. That's different. All right, so that's cool to know that they've changed that. All right, so it was a thing before where you could just leave the battle, go back into it, and you could pick out whatever new area you wanted to. All right, it's not a thing anymore, so that's pretty cool. All right, they patched that kind of gimmick, so it's going to be a little bit harder now. I am going to just go ahead and take this one. This way we can get the most gold possible. I believe we can knock this out. We've got that increased damage from them just throwing out their ultimates, so you'll see this flying through there, and you'll see the health bar just diminish over here. All right, so totally dominated that group. I don't think I lost very much health at all. All right, let me go back here and see if that ambush is still there. Okay, so if you complete a battle, the ambush goes away, so that's good to know. All right, let's go back to our store. Nothing really great in here. I will take this battle axe, and the reason why I'm going to get that is it has a skill execute, so if it's going against anybody that has 25% health or less, it'll immediately just instant kill them. All right, and that's after they've gotten their mana up there to where they can use their ultimate. But if it hits somebody with 25% health or less, it instantly kills them, and it refreshes its ultimate to where it just keeps going until it doesn't hit somebody that it can instantly execute. So super cool for kind of getting through those boss monsters later on. I will pick that up and start building that on somebody. Let's see what kind of dwarves I've got going on here. I will pick this one up. 100 weight's not bad to start off with, even though it's in red. We can still do something with that. That'll probably be that battle axe guy. All right, so let's go into our warriors. I'll throw that on him now. And let's put him up here in the front. I believe that's 3. No, we need one more for our 3 two-handed weapon users. All right, do I have another two-handed stat? No, I don't. All right, so I don't have enough for any other one, so we'll just go into a next fight. This is 600. I believe we can knock this one out. I'm trying to get that other team composition, the Berserker one. That'll help us get more damage out. So here's another two-handed weapon. I would like another battle axe, if I could. Let's see if I can just roll one. It says it's possible. All right, there we go. 110. Not necessarily how much I wanted to spend on trying to get one, but that's okay. I may just pick up anybody that I can afford. I got 340. Let's see if I can sell something. Let's see. Going to my inventory. I've got 2 shields. I don't need those shields, so I can sell those to kind of make the difference. and that'll let me get this guy, and that'll be my other warrior, or my final warrior, really. I'm not really sure what I want to do for that last slot. We may put in... What do I want to put into this composition? We got 5 mages and 4 warriors, or 3 warriors and 1 tank. We could do an archer in here somewhere. We could do I don't know. It's kind of like, this is my basic setup to kind of get through most of the content at the earlier part of the game, and then I'll have to adjust when I get to the end game part of it. But with this, we're looking at my composition. I've got both of these active now. All right, so all of my guys are going to get Berserker, which I'll show you what that does. Let me go and click on one of them. If I look here, they gain 5% increased damage for each kill. All right, resets after battle. So that means that my guy here, every time he kills somebody with Execute, he's going to start getting more and more damage on his regular attacks. All right, and which means he's going to be able to execute a lot more. Same thing for these guys. These guys, as they're doing their ultimates over and over again, they're gonna rack up a bunch of kills, and it's gonna help them kind of gain that passive increased damage. All right, so we've got about, I'm gonna give this about another 10 minutes. This is a little bit past what I planned on doing for this video, but let's say another 10 minutes, so this way I can kind of rush through some fights and kind of showcase it. I really want to show you what an elite monster looks like. We're on 12 right now, but let's just keep going. We'll just go the highest amount possible and just kind of see how much damage we're able to do now. Okay. We're looking for those elite monsters. I'm not even worried about this stuff. I may pick up one of these just to increase my weight and make sure that I'm not getting knocked back as much. And we'll probably do... Alright, so there's for our warriors. I actually picked up one more that I wanted. But we'll put this on this guy. Alright, this gives me strength. I think what I want to do is I want to put it like this. That looks good. And then we can get rid of this stuff in just a second. But I want to look at... Alright, I don't see anything good there, so let's go into our next fight. Still looking for our ultimate, or not ultimate, our elite monster. There's some more treasure. Still looking for the elite monster. Gonna fly through these really quick. See if we can find one. 590 looks like a good number. I'll take that one first. I believe the first elite monster you'll find is the priest. So we're gonna try to knock out 3 of those, or actually 2 of those. This way we can have one for each of our guys before we actually get into the elite clan. And what I mean by that is there's a elite clan every stage that'll have multiple elite enemies, and the amount of gold you get from that is just exponential based on, or in comparison to what you would normally get for just any of the other fights. So for instance, we got 590 off this one, but on the elite group, you could potentially get a couple thousand gold. All right, and then each one of them drops their weapon too, so that's material, if not just using their weapons to beef up your dwarves. So let's see. Not really seeing anything like super good in here, so I'm not gonna waste gold on filling that last slot yet. Let me look at my gear that they've offered. This has a bunch of dexterity on it, but I don't really use dexterity for my warriors, so I'm not worried about it. So let's just go into our next fight. Still looking for our next, our elite, so I'm gonna roll these a couple times, see if we can find one. Not seeing one. Got some treasure, we'll take that. Alright, doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get it yet. Okay, so I'll just look for a high bounty. This way I can keep racking up. So 450 looks pretty good. I think we can go higher than that. Alright, there's another 590, so we'll take the 590. Alright, so we got 590 gold, and we've also got 2 more mithril. We grabbed this hat to increase our intelligence for one of our mages. Alright, so we got this hat. We'll throw this on this guy, and we'll throw this cloth on this guy. And that boosts him up to 29 intelligence in comparison to just 18. This guy's on 33, so that's not bad. We don't really need any of this other gear, so we could sell it, or we could turn it into fodder for more mithril. I think I'm just going to fodder it instead of combining it. That's why I get a 50% chance of getting those mithril that we can use to upgrade later. And this is storage, so for whatever reason, if you're stacking on a bunch of items that you don't want to technically get rid of, you want to save for situational, like switching out your gear to kind of fit the situation, you can store it in here. This way it doesn't take up your main inventory. And then there's also this as well. So tavern, you build these drinks or the experience drinks as you're playing, and you can use these to kind of catch some of your guys up. So if you're starting out a new dwarf like later on in the game, you can use these to kind of get them caught up in level. You can also sacrifice or retire some of these guys to get a bunch of experience to pour into one of your guys as well. All right, so that's this mechanic, and that's pretty well all the mechanics. Oh, and we've got our elite guy right here. All right, you'll notice that this one has healing rain. All right, so we're going to try to take this guy out. I believe we should be able to do it because it's just healers and one tank. So not a lot of damage is going out on this. So we're going to probably outdo their damage or outdo their heals. And on top of that, we're pushing them past their line. All right, but we're pretty well got it. There's only one more guy alive. I was kind of hoping that we would get to the point where I could push them further past that breaking point so you can see what it looks like when you get to that instant win part, but I don't know that we're going to be able to do that in this video. All right, so here's that staff of water. It's got a healing rain skill. I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to put it on one of my priests really quick. All right, and let's go ahead and go into the next fight. Let's see if I can find another one. All right, so looking for another elite monster. All right, here it is. All right, that'll give me my second healing staff, and then I'll end it with trying to find the elite group, and that'll be the end of this video. All right, win or lose, that'll kind of showcase a good portion of the start of this game. All right, if you're new to the channel, this is one of the earlier videos that I'm releasing for this series or this channel. I try to go through a bunch of different games, kind of showcasing what they have to offer. This gives you a chance to make your own educated decision on whether or not you want to add it to your collection. And in all of those videos, I'll make sure to leave a link to the game that I'm showcasing in the description. This way you can see for yourself. You can kind of do your own research or kind of look at it on the Steam page. Steam is mostly where I'm going to be pulling all these games from. Let's see, what else do I need to tell you? I am also going to be doing some live streams later on. This channel is, the main purpose behind it is kind of help me get better at producing content as far as videos go, and also give me a chance to just showcase all that I can showcase about certain games that I found interesting. And also, whenever I get to the live stream part, it's going to give me a chance to connect with more community gamers that may want to potentially play games live on stream. So that would be something cool to look forward to in the future. I do have a lot of role-playing games or co-op games that not necessarily a lot of people that are around me that like to play, or I don't really have that community yet, but hopefully as this channel grows, maybe some of you would like to play those games with me on a stream, and I think that would be really cool to do. I'm also going to leave a link to a Discord channel to where we can stay in contact. If any of you want to join it, there's going to be a link. Feel free to join that Discord. It's not fully set up yet as the time of this video, but as I'm setting up, it'll progressively get more and more detail into that Discord. Make sure also to check me out on Instagram and Twitch. This way you don't miss any streams that I do or videos that I release on Instagram or TikTok. Don't forget on TikTok as well. All right, so let's see if I can find that elite group, and that'll be our end of this video. So we have our 2 healing staffs, we've got 3 of our mages, and we've got our warrior team and our tank. All right, so I think we're pretty good as far as the setup. We are being ambushed too, so I'm going to go take this guy so we don't get 3 ambushes. I don't want to end on a loss on just a regular group. I don't think that's going to happen, but I still don't want that to happen. All right, so let's see if we can find that rare group of elite enemies. All right, and that would give you a good showcase of what all the enemy opportunities you have. So just taking this treasure, keep going through these, looking for that elite group. All right, that's just one elite. Not necessarily what we're looking for, so I'm going to keep going. Yes, I want to re-roll. That's cool. That's a mechanic that wasn't there before the last patch. Normally what would happen is I would keep re-rolling and I would accidentally click one more past the elite group and I would miss it and I have to keep going until I found it again. So that's cool that it asked me if you want to keep re-rolling. So technically I could just keep pushing this until it pops up and it'll pop up that warning saying, hey, there's an elite group there. Do you sure you want to keep going? All right, I'll blow through the rest of this money if I have to. All right, seeing if we can find it. I'll take this group just so I don't get ambushed all the way. We are blowing through them pretty fast, so that's not bad. All right, looking towards this. Don't really need that right now. There's another one. I'll take that guy just because he doesn't have anything negative. And we will build him as... What do we want to build him as? He's already got a priest staff, so we'll just leave him as a healer. Let's see. All right, so we are at our 20th win, so that's going to mean that we're going to progress. So on your round right before your next 10th milestone, you'll have an elite mob to kind of knock down really quick to progress further. And then after this round, this is where you'll get to pick your next artifact. So we'll just take the most money, so 950, knock this out really quick, and then we'll look for that other elite group. I'm telling you, that wizardry, where you get to cast your ultimate at a 30% chance over again, it increases so much more damage. So definitely something to look into. So we are going to probably take this one. All right, it restores all health when falling below 75%, and you gain 10% resistance to, or 10% to all resistances for 10 seconds. All right, you can use it twice per battle. All right, and it also gives you weight every time that it's used. So I'm going to put that on my tank, start building up his weight. All right, we'll see that he's 559, so that's super good in comparison to the next one, which is only 380. All right, still looking for that elite group. Speak of the devil, there it is. All right, you'll notice that our highest on here so far, this is probably the highest one we've seen, it's 855, and it's got 11 enemies. All right, this one only has 3 enemies, but it gives you almost 3,000 gold. All right, so this is that elite group. If you can get to the point where you're constantly able to knock these down, I would just keep re-rolling until you find this over and over and build up a stockpile of money. Now, the disadvantage to this is you're going through a lot of rounds that you could potentially gain a lot of experience, or you're losing experience by not going for these bigger groups. All right, but the money and the gear that you're being able to get and upgrading your shop and stuff like that, I feel like that outweighs that disadvantage of not getting as much experience, because later on you should have the gear to potentially go through these bigger groups a lot faster and make up that experience that was lost early on. So, like I said, we're going to end it with this final fight. Let's see if we can knock it out with just what I have. Kind of showcasing one last time. We've got 3 healers, we've got 3 mages, we've got 3 DPS warriors melee, and we also have a tank. All right, so let's see if that's enough to knock this group out. Now, I do have these 2 formations set up. All right, we got wizardry and we have the berserker. All right, so maybe that'll help us out and get through this one. And yeah, all right, so let's see what it looks like. All right, so it looks like we are taking a little bit of damage, but we are pushing them back quite a bit. Our healths down here are being knocked down pretty good. So I don't know, maybe we might be able to knock them out. If we can kill one of them, that might help us push them back even further. So hopefully we can knock one of them out. All right, we did knock one of them out, so we got this. We got this in the bag. All right, only one more left, and we're getting close to that kill point, so this is a good point. I didn't get to it. All right, we were so close to that 100 marker And like I said, once you hit that 100 marker, it's an instant win. You'll start doing tremendous amounts of damage to where it ends the round. Okay, so we gained a knight shield from that tank. We got a dragon staff from the fire mage, and we also got another staff of water. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the content that I showcased for this game. If you enjoyed it, or you want to see more of this, or are looking forward to other games that I may be showcasing in the future, I'm going to be trying to put out a video every day of a different game. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you turn on that notification bell so you know when that next demo or game that I'm showcasing pops up. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and until next time.
Game every night, we all lose or we'll fight. Brothers in hand, keep the levels in sight. I bet you to the stream, level up the scene. On the grind, never stop, little out the dream. Press the buttons fast, come to each press. Friends from my side, putting skills to the test. A virtual reality with every new theme. Join the community, part of the team.